If I had to describe Christopher Nolan's films in one word, it would be immersion. The Prestige is structured as one big trick, allowing us to experience a magic performance, to feel both deceived and amazed. Inception makes us doubt reality. Dunkirk pins you to your seat with unrelenting anxiety and looming threat. Interstellar forces you to contemplate what makes us human. Memento is Nolan's second feature film, and also his most convoluted. It immerses the viewer in a world where there is no past or future, only the present, and that is its greatest strength. Memento tells the story of a man investigating his wife's murder, but this man has memory problems.
A condition?
It's my memory.
Amnesia.
No. It's different from that. I have no short-term memory.
The film allows us to experience the loss of short-term memory alongside the hero, conveying to the viewer the sensation of being unable to form new memories. Nolan tells the story backwards, constantly withholding information from us that is also unavailable to the protagonist. Leonard suffers from memory loss. He talks to people he doesn't know, finds himself in unfamiliar places, and Nolan wanted the audience to feel this too. Therefore, the story is structured in reverse order. Scene C is followed by Scene B, and then Scene A. First, we learn the ending of the film and gradually move towards the beginning. The viewer is constantly disoriented. We don't understand what is happening at the start of each scene.
Okay, so what am I doing?
Just like the main character.
Oh, I'm chasing this guy.
And we have to figure things out right in the thick of the action.
No, he's chasing me.
The film constantly poses numerous questions. All the color scenes in the film run backwards and represent Leonard's subjective view of the world, of an unrecognizable environment. We often observe the action from behind Leonard's back, following and tracking him. He becomes the center of the composition. We see the details he sees from a first-person perspective: tattoos, photographs, notes. This is his subjective reality, which is transmitted to us. We hear the hero's thoughts as if they were our own.
Exactly what happened. I'm gonna write down exactly what happened. Come on. I can find a pen. Jeez, come on. Come on, keep focused.
We only have the information that Leonard has. This means that when a scene begins, we have no idea how we got here or where we were before. We only know what the photographs and notes tell us. They are Leonard's external memory. In most films, the structure of each scene makes the audience wonder, what will happen next? But in Memento, a scene begins with the question, what happened before? And upon the completion of each scene, we get answers to questions from the previous one. For example, one scene begins with Leonard sitting in a hotel bathroom with an empty alcohol bottle. We think, how did he get here? And why does he have a bottle in his hands? In the next scene of the film, we see Leonard hiding in the bathroom with the bottle as a weapon, but due to his memory problems, he quickly forgets what he intended to do. Thus, each scene poses a new question and answers the previous one, constantly withholding information from the viewer. Nolan makes telling the story in reverse order intriguing, even though we know how it will end. But such a structure can make the story excessively chaotic. It can quickly become exhausting, which is why Nolan alternates the color scenes, which run backwards with black and white scenes that run in correct chronological order. In the black and white scenes, Leonard tells the story of Sammy Jankis, a man with similar memory problems. We constantly return to Sammy's story as something familiar. It serves as a framework that prevents the story from falling apart and turning into a set of meaningless scenes. Without the black and white scenes, we would not understand the character arc of Leonard, his development. It is here that we manage to see who he was and what decisions he made. This helps better describe his character and worldview. Imagine this is the timeline of all the film's scenes arranged in chronological order. The left half is the black and white scenes. The right half is the color ones. Nolan arranged the color scenes in reverse order in such a way that they remain gripping and lead to a satisfying conclusion. Meanwhile, the black and white scenes provide necessary exposition and lead to the beginning of the color scenes. So, essentially the climax, although it occurs at the end of the film, is chronologically in the middle of the story, where the color and black and white timelines meet. We are in for a big revelation. We get answers to all the questions. Any mystery, any question we ask ourselves during viewing is part of the experience Leonard is going through. The scene where Leonard burns photographs and records false facts repaints the film in completely different colors, dark and grim. Leonard is forced to rely on only one thing: his notes. He had to create a system for the external storage of information because his brain can't hold on to anything. The most important facts are tattooed on his body. Temporary facts get photographs and short notes. The problem with his system is that most often, the information he writes on the photographs is given to him by people.
Don't write Gamble, just Teddy.
Why?
I'm undercover.
So in the end, he has to trust people, hoping they won't lie to him or use him. And here he runs into problems because sometimes the information written on his photographs is incorrect and he has no idea. Various people use his condition throughout the film. For instance, Bert, the hotel clerk, claims Leonard has only been living at the hotel for a couple of days, but in reality, he rents 2 rooms from him. At the beginning of the film, Leonard looks out the window opposite. This is room 304. He rents this room too, and it's the one he returns to that evening. Literally a minute into the film, we see Leonard coming out of room 304. Bert figured out his condition long ago and decided to scam him for double the rent. The photograph of John Gamble is labeled as Teddy, but Leonard has no idea why. Moreover, this finally convinces him that Teddy is the man he is hunting.
I found you, you fuck.
On Natalie's photograph, it says, "She has also lost someone. She will help you out of pity." But Leonard doesn't remember under what circumstances he wrote this and doesn't even suspect that she is using him. He changes the text just before getting a tattoo based solely on the words of a stranger on the other end of the phone. He was going to get access to drugs, but Teddy influenced Leonard and he wrote drug dealer. Leonard doesn't know under what circumstances the notes were made, but he believes in them unwaveringly. He is blinded by facts, considers them perfectly reliable, unlike memory, because memory doesn't record, it only interprets. But in reality, all the facts Lenny has are false. The car in the photo isn't actually his. He owns the pickup truck parked in front of the warehouse. Teddy is not actually Teddy. Natalie cannot actually be trusted. He photographs the hotel he plans to check into, but he already lives there. At lunch, he wears the suit of the man he killed in the morning. Teddy is right. He has turned into a completely new person, constructed from notes on scraps of paper. Throughout the story, the film introduces us to facts that seem quite logical, and then turns them upside down by showing the context and circumstances in earlier chronological episodes. It turns out all the facts are distorted. They are constantly refuted and viewed from a different angle. They are unreliable because they are just as much an interpretation of reality as memories. But Leonard's information storage system finally collapses at the end of the film because Leonard intentionally feeds himself false facts, the only thing he relied on, and now his reality is distorted by his own decision. This moment is the culmination of the story. Everything that is happening is turned inside out. Leonard repeatedly states that he lives for revenge.
You living?
Only for revenge.
But when Leonard solves the riddle, when he learns that he has already killed the man he was hunting, he realizes that he no longer has a purpose in life, and that is what he fears most of all. It is important for him to believe that his actions are not meaningless, so he turns Teddy into another John G. to continue playing his game. It's unknown how many John G's he has already killed and how many more there will be. Leonard doesn't need revenge. He needs a purpose in life, an elusive villain he can hunt infinitely.
I have to believe in a world outside my own mind. I have to believe that my actions still have meaning.
This is exactly what he talks about in the final scene. It seems it can't get any worse. Leonard is a broken personality, a man who drives from city to city, playing detective, killing people. We all need memories to know who we are. This is the key phrase that turns the story upside down for the second time. First, we learn that Leonard's records are false. Then we learn that his long-term memories are also distorted. He alters them for himself, creates his own truth.
You don't want the truth. You make up your own truth.
His reality is rewritten, and the actuality is this. The only one who was honest with Leonard was Teddy. He is the director of all his adventures, and he is also the one who reveals the truth to him at the very end of the story. On the day of the assault, when Leonard was hit on the head and his memory was damaged, his wife actually survived, and John G. never existed. The entire story of Sammy Jankis, which he tells over the phone to an unknown interlocutor, is his own past, which he has externalized and believes happened to someone else. It was he who gave his wife multiple insulin injections in a row because he couldn't remember doing it. Leonard's wife dies from an overdose, and he is sent to a mental institution. This can be seen in a brief shot. There, his mind begins to rewrite memories to cope with what happened. After all, as we know, his condition is psychological, not physical, which means he can create memories. He transfers the event that happened onto Sammy Jankis, a con man who once faked memory loss to get insurance money. Now, in Leonard's memories, it wasn't he who killed his wife with insulin. It was Sammy. It wasn't a drug addict who killed his wife. Instead, he devotes his life to avenging his murdered wife, creating a goal and a purpose for himself.
Sammy didn't have a wife. It was your wife who had diabetes.
To begin navigating this new reality, Leonard gets his first tattoo. Remember Sammy Jankis. And when he looks at it, a fragment of a memory surfaces in his head where he is preparing a syringe with insulin. This shot exactly repeats the shot of Sammy giving an injection. And at the end, when Teddy reveals the truth to him, he remembers giving his wife an injection, then switches again to a fabricated memory. He doesn't want to believe what happened to him. He substitutes memories for ones that suit him better.
Oh, I guess I can only make you remember the things you want to be true.
After he created a new past for himself, he went to the police to investigate his wife's murder, stumbled upon the corrupt cop Teddy, who helped him find the second assailant and kill him. They take a photo where Leonard is pointing his finger at his own chest, and in the final scene, as he is driving, an image surfaces in his mind. His wife is lying on his chest, and on his chest, in the very spot Leonard was pointing to in the photo, is tattooed, "I've done it." This could mean that he killed the second assailant, achieved revenge, "I've done it." Or it could mean that he accidentally killed his wife, "I've done it." It doesn't matter which of the two options. What matters is that he can manipulate his long-term memories. In his distorted memory, his wife is still alive, yet his body is already covered in tattoos. At Natalie's house, Lenny says the police don't believe John G. exists. But where did Lenny even get that name? It appeared as if out of thin air. Did a mysterious criminal who left no trace tell him his name? Or drop his passport? The tattoo, "John G. raped and murdered my wife," appeared on Teddy's instructions. As he said, after killing the assailant, Lenny forgot everything and started investigating again. Teddy figured it out and decided to take advantage of Leonard's condition. He helps him get a mirror image tattoo so that every day, looking in the mirror, Lenny would go off in search of some John G., a fairly common set of initials.
How many John G's or James G's? I mean, shit, Lenny, I'm a fucking John G.
Teddy constantly calls him on the phone and dictates new facts, setting him on drug dealers. And this is not surprising. Leonard, despite being thin, can overpower anyone, and Teddy then takes the money or the goods for himself. "Never answer the phone" is the last tattoo Lenny gets. He somehow suspected he was being manipulated via the telephone. The memories of his wife's murder also raise many questions. This memory is very similar to the scene where Leonard called a prostitute to sleep next to him so she would later slam the bathroom door. Leonard told the girl to arrange her things as she wanted, as if they were her things, and she arranged them exactly as in Leonard's memory of his wife's murder. Nolan shows this shot twice, in the scene with the prostitute and again in the murder scene. There is the exact same blue bedding as in room 304.
The discount inn, 304. Leonard.
Perhaps he just wanted to feel the moment of waking up with a loved one, to touch the still warm bed, or perhaps this is how he maintains false memories of his dead wife. Teddy said Leonard has been playing detective for a very long time.
You don't even know how long ago it was.
He accidentally killed his wife and now drives from city to city hunting a ghost. A crumb of information is enough for him to continue living and fighting. Teddy hinted at this.
Well, maybe you should start investigating yourself.
Thank you for the advice.
Leonard manipulates himself by feeding himself false facts. He needs an unsolvable riddle, an impossible quest. Teddy gave him a police report so Leonard could play detective to his heart's content. Leonard even removed 12 pages from it so that everything turned into nonsense he could investigate endlessly.
I have to summarize the different sections. And there's pages missing. I guess I've been trying to log them all. I don't know why these are crossed out.
The film's structure is confusing. We experience the impossibility of remembering events together with the main character, constantly find ourselves in the thick of the action, and try to solve Leonard's riddle. But it is extremely difficult to piece all these bits of information together. We can trust neither memories nor facts because they are all subjective. Christopher Nolan and his brother Jonathan told us a story that unfolds backwards. They placed us in the body of a hero who lives by notes and photographs, created a detective story in which the villain is known from the very first minute.
No!
They gave the viewer the opportunity to feel like a person who doesn't know where they came from, but knows exactly where they are going. And of course, remember Sammy Jankus,